What's going on, everybody? My name is Derrick Williamson. A lot of you all may know me as a young black farmer out of Georgia that's been in a brutal fight to save my farm for years. And because I'm still tied up in litigation dealing with corruption in Morgan County, I now focus on highlighting other justice fights for other individuals that are alleging misconduct from judges. I hate when judges act outside of their constitutional duties. I hate when judges break their oath of offices, ultimately harming families, taking land, destroying companies in many different fronts. And so today I'm highlighting a justice fight that we will now march horses on coming up for this press release on September 2nd at Rockdale County Court against Judge Nancy Bills, because it is alleged that Judge Nancy Bills has allegedly conspired with the Mr. Mark Ferrell's ex-wife, who is also a cast member of the Atlanta Housewives. So therefore, Mr. Mark is saying that that misconduct has resulted in his life being forever altered and changed because the judge decided to act unconstitutionally and act in a bias when he was entitled to justice and proper understanding of the law and true things in the truth to be made known. So today I'm going to be interviewing Mr. Mark. So for those of you that know this case, we know it's circulating all over social media, all over media right now. But today we're here for the facts, and we're here to talk about the detriment that alleged misconduct can have. And we're going to hear from Mark himself on these issues. So stay tuned for this interview. We are supporting him, and I am aligning to support him. We will be marching horses for his press release. So as you guys may have seen the other video out saying that if you would like to ride with us on horseback, please make sure to reach out. So Brother Mark, man, pleasure to meet you, man. I know we're meeting on unfortunate circumstances, but the bottom line is this. Anytime injustice happens, we have to make sure the general public knows what's going on. We have to make sure that the media and everybody's tracking on it, because that's how we get true accountability in place. According to my understanding, according to your narrative, you're alleging that a Superior Court judge, Judge Nancy Bills in Rockdale County, acted unconstitutionally and broke her oath of office to cause damage or detriment to yourself. And walk me through a little bit about what happened. And before we get into that, I want to say that if you guys didn't know, Mark is actually the founder of Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles, which is a multi-million-dollar restaurant chain that a lot of you know all too well. But right now in real time, according to the decree of the judge, as the founder of Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles, he has no ownership of the company, no monetary money's coming from the company. And according to my understanding, that as the founder, 100% of all of Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles is now with his ex-wife, despite the law being equitable division. I mean, he should at least have gotten half or a portion of that. So we're going to get into that a little bit. Mark, tell me a little bit about, you're alleging some big stuff. You're saying that a judge acted unconstitutionally. Correct. What happened? Walk me through. Just let's start there. What happened to you? What happened?
I wanted to get into the restaurant business. My dad comes from that world, so he had clubs, restaurants, and things like that. So I always wanted to try it and step out on faith and do it myself. Like I said, 2016, I stepped out on faith. I found a location and stepped out on faith, and it became successful, very successful. I never in my life even knew anything about opening up a restaurant and nothing like that. But I just kept doing my homework, and I came up with these recipes, and it went through the roof.
You guys been to gross millions by this restaurant chain as well.
Yes, it went through the roof. So me and my ex got into it, just some miscommunication through our kids in 2022. And we kept trying to make it work, but it ended up not working. My ex-spouse was divorced, I think, around April of 2022. Okay. So I got a loan, which was like $420,000, but we both got a loan. And that money was to expand and open 2 more locations. Okay. It was a spot in McDonough, which she has now, and it was a spot downtown, Atlanta, Georgia, that we were supposed to open. So out of that money, my ex had moved out. Let me bring that back. She had moved out the house, and she started spending money out of that $420,000, like 30-something grand, just celebrating her birthday. My business manager gives me a call. He's like, man, hey, what is she doing? I didn't know what she was doing because I hadn't logged in the account. So I log in the account. I see that the money was spent. I call him back. I said, man, what should we do? And he's like, let's just pull the money because she's gonna make y'all be forced to go into your other money that's allocated for the restaurant. So I pull the money out. She at the time I think she was in Tulum, Mexico with her friends, and the money was just coming out. So,
out of the business account or the operating business account?
Out of the business account. The money was coming out. So I pulled the money. Once I pulled the money, she got wind of it, and she took me to court. Well, her and her attorney took me to court. Mm-hmm. So at that time, I had already put the money back in the account, like $300 and some $1,000. I got all the paperwork to show that. I had already put all the money back in the account, $338 or something like that, right?
So minus the $30,000.
Yeah, minus that, right? So she already had knew this, that the money was back in the account, and her attorney knew this because my business manager told them, y'all wasting y'all time. The man been put the money back in the account. So the court date comes up. When the court date comes up, I had COVID. I caught COVID. Mm-hmm. I had the paperwork and everything, and I had hired an attorney at the time, but the attorney only did marital. He didn't do civil, and he took me to court for civil. Right? Okay. So court date comes. I got COVID. My attorney said he couldn't go. I called the courtroom myself, and I said, listen, I have COVID. I cannot make it today. I said, and my attorney can't make it, so I'm not going to be able to make it today. So I called. He's like, well, you need to get in touch with your attorney and let your attorney know this and that. So I was like, okay, I left it alone, right? So I ended up calling another attorney. After that, I said, I need you to help me with a civil matter. So I called the attorney steps up. I had to pay the attorney the money. So that's when it got real dangerous and tricky, and it was crazy.
Okay. So you had an attorney, but that attorney said, "Hey, listen, I don't practice for the case that's the way that her attorney filed.
Yes.
Your current attorney did not practice in that area or that perspective. Right. So he's very clear to you. Hey, listen, I cannot go to court
for you
because I don't practice in that perspective, and I cannot set you up for failure, obviously, because that's not my area of expertise.
That's right.
So then you had a very short amount of time to procure new counsel to deal with a relatively old matter but new issue, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I missed that court date, I went and tried to get an attorney. Well, I did find an attorney.
Okay.
So I'm going to the bank to get some funds out the bank to pay the attorney. Mm-hmm. So when I go to the bank, I try to get the money out, and my card wasn't working. So I get out and I walk in and I ask the for the branch manager, what's going on with my card? I knew the branch manager. So the manager was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Ferrell, you can't get no money out your account today. Your ex-wife and her attorney came over with some paperwork and said that you're not part of this company anymore. Now this bank account I opened in my name, personal name, the business name, and I had added my ex on as a signer only. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
So all this stuff was illegal. So I'm telling the manager, like, what do you mean I can get no money out of my account? This is my company. I came here with my Secretary of State. I did all this, right? But I added her on because, of course, she worked with me.
And you added her on as a signer,
as a
correct?
Signer, yes, only as a signer, yes.
But not as a stockholder or as an officer, as an official officer, just as a signer.
Just a signer.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just a signer. So now I'm tripping. I'm like, what is going on? Because I know this stuff is illegal. So when I got in touch with the attorney, and the attorney was like, okay, well, you got to give me the money before we even start working. So I'll go to borrowing the money from my family and friends so I can get counsel. So I got the counsel, they got on board, and the counsel looked into my case, and she was like, this is like, do you know your company got taken away from you when you missed court? And I'm like, no, I didn't know that, because I missed the court date. She said, yeah, your company got taken away, and and I told her about the bank situation. She said, that's illegal, you can't do that. I said, well, it got done to me. So she files a motion to vacate. The motion to vacate, we went to court. She told the judge that, she got both of us on the stand, me and my ex, and she had my ex to admit that she didn't have nothing to do with the company. I started all the paperwork. She didn't give me a dime towards the company, right? All this was I had the transcript, and all this is admitted under oath.
Wow.
She got her to admit that these are my recipes from Louisiana. It's nothing. She's from Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing pertaining to Baltimore, Maryland. All this was admitted under oath. We even had an operating agreement. The operating agreement stated that no one can do nothing without the other. My business manager made us do that when we separated because he said the spending money without the other person knowing and things like that. He said y'all need to get an operating agreement because the operating agreement will protect both of y'all.
Absolutely.
So we signed an operating agreement. When I missed that court date, my ex-wife told the judge that she was the CEO of my company and the COO of my company. And the judge did no due diligence and looked at their paperwork and saw that my name was on everything.
So that would be, allegedly, that she would have lied under oath, I would imagine.
That's
right?
exactly what happened.
So
yeah.
hey, let's stop here for a second. You covered a lot of ground, all right? You talked about how Nana's, the successful chain, Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles, multi-million-dollar restaurant chain, okay? Was started by you as the founder with the perspective of your family and your recipes and your family's recipes that equated to this massive organization, the restaurant organization, right? And that was years prior to even you and your wife marrying,
That's
okay?
Right. That's right.
So it pre-existed. We get that. So now we're fast forwarding. Obviously, you said that a divorce was filed. So we know how divorces they happen. They're not illegal. A divorce is not illegal. They happen. So therefore, in that divorce, all right, happening in Rockdale County under the presiding Judge Bills, right? We find out you expressed to us that you had a court date to go to court, but you had COVID, so you personally could not be there in court.
Yes.
The attorney that was quote unquote representing you during the time did not practice that area that was being that the judge was presiding over, and he did not feel comfortable and could not under his
what he practices.
Go to court for you.
Correct.
So therefore, you had the dilemma to find an attorney in real time quickly, but you couldn't. But you articulated to the court the situation that happened. And listen, I can't come. My attorney, I have to find counsel for this in particular matter. Yes. So therefore, you communicated that to the court. Okay. Obviously, we know that the court should have responded. Okay, we understand that there's a medically that you're not able to be here because obviously, we can't be around people during that time because of the quarantine period.
Correct.
So you didn't make court because of that. You've articulated that. Then you find out later that as the founder of this multi-million-dollar amazing restaurant chain, that you are no longer the owner of the corporation, nor do you have power in the corporation, nor do you have access to the corporation, nor do you have access to the accounts or monies in the corporation.
That's right.
So you find all of that out in real time, okay? And we know that in a divorce case, usually once everything is finally settled and things of that nature, they're in their operating agreements, usually the court has to get involved as a mediator because, there's divisions that are happening and things like that. Were you paid out any dividends and were you any type of monies? Well, obviously the company's operating, you've been kicked out of the company, so therefore if you're kicked out of the company, then the company has, you're owed by law monetary monies from the company. Did the company or the judge order any of those funds be tendered to you?
No, they took everything from me. Everything.
Okay.
That day when I missed court, worst day of my life. They took my company from me and all funds, everything. Wiped me out completely.
And froze the account. So let me rephrase that. They didn't freeze the account. They removed you. They gave her all power of the account.
They gave her all power. Yeah.
So so that happened. So it's a lot going on here, man. That's intense. And to be somebody that has watched and grown your organization to that status, and with your family, your recipes, and your money. And if I'm correct, she did not put anything into the initial emergence of Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles for years. Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles were successful and operated apart from her, right?
Yes, she didn't give me a dime towards Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles. Did she work? Absolutely. She worked the butt off. But to take everything is absolutely not right. You get what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I understand, obviously, because you guys were married, and I know she put a lot of sweat and labor into building into Nana's Chicken-N-Waffles too. So we know granted, we know that the founder and even having her being a part her being a part as a signer, and then we know that there is a business relationship that is there. But under pretenses of law, we know that equitable division dictates that it's a 50-50. So I'm not going to say I'm a mathematician, but according to your narrative, it's not a 50-50. It looks like somebody got 100 by zero.
That's what it was.
Did I miss something?
No, that's exactly what happened. That's why we sitting here. That's what happened.
Wow. Okay, so your life changed catastrophically pretty quickly from going to being the founder of this amazing chain to now finding out one day that now you're not even a part of it. In order not, you've had to adjust your life and make different
overnight.
And immediately, your life changed immediately based off one decision of the court.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you have procured counsel to begin to start untangling some of these things, and we're not going to get too deep into the nuances of things because we know that there's pending litigation that's being there. But you have procured counsel,
Yes.
and tell me about. We got a little bit into the issues of why you're procuring counsel. What is your intent? What do you believe? What are you trying to accomplish? And against who are you trying to hold accountable right now with this litigation?
With this litigation, the Judge Bills, my ex-wife, Rockdale County, the clerk of court. The clerk of court was deeply involved with my ex-wife during the divorce. She went to the restaurant several times and she put it on social media, stating that we love you, we support everything you do. This is my favorite restaurant. So I couldn't stand a chance when I was going through my divorce. That's exactly what happened to me. I found that out after everything was over. Like, how can I win if I got, somebody that's in the inside supporting my ex? How can I win? You got the judge, you got her, you got all three of them in cahoots, and that's exactly what happened.
So you're alleging. So let me make sure I understand correctly. So you're alleging that the clerk of court, your ex-wife, and the Superior Court judge all conspired together to deprive you of what by law you were owed, whether that's your corporation.
Right.
And I know usually, I'm sure there's a home involved in this right here as well too.
Yeah,
so did you
that.
get the home, or do you live in the home still?
No. So let me tell you what happened after that. Okay, so the company was taken. Like I said, my attorney took me to court where we filed a motion to vacate. We presented everything in front of that judge and let her know that this was my company. Everything was in my name. The lease from the building, Nana Chicken-N-Waffles, that was in Conyers, the first location. The lease was in my name. We presented everything to that judge to let her know that Mr. Ferrell had started this company. Trademark, U.S. trademark, in my name to this day. All this is my name. The judge denied the motion. She denied the motion. And that's when I knew stuff was weird. Like, why would you deny a motion if my attorney's telling you made a mistake? They committed fraud to take this company from this man because he missed a court date.
And so your attorney is in court articulating to Judge Nancy Bills that your ex-wife tried to defraud the court, alleging herself as said officers and owners of the company.
And said I only work for the company, like I was just a check writer. Yeah. And
alleging that you were not in ownership of the company,
Correct.
but you were a quote unquote worker, for lack of a better term. Meaning with no legal ownership as a founding member.
Yes, it's impossible to do that. Nobody in the world can do that. Like nobody puts in work and has a multi-million-dollar company or even a billion-dollar company, and because they miss a court date, their company and their life get taken away from them. It can't happen nowhere in this world. And that's what ended up happening. So, moving forward, after all this happened, they denied the motion and things like that, gave it a company. Still, now I'm tripping because I can't believe this is happening to me. All my money get low. My friends and family helping me, survive.
Because of course, like you have this massive restaurant chain, and now you don't have that anymore. So now, and granted, you still have things to do, operate. Like you have a life and things like that. You have bills, other things, and now all of that finance is now ripped from you abruptly overnight without any type of.
And nothing I can do to get it back. And the judge is not respecting the attorneys. They're not respecting nobody. It's like their mind was already made up what they was going to do me.
And it didn't stop there, did it? So you would lose your company. Walk me through more loss. What else? What happened next?
So fast forward, the company had been taken away from me, and my ex brings me back to court like 3 months later, and tells taking me back to court and says that I'm not paying no money towards the kids helping with child support because she had already moved out 2 years prior. 2 years prior, she had abandoned her home, gone. So she tells.
So she left. So the quote unquote family home at the time.
Yeah, she left.
She left the family home.
Yeah,
she left you in possession of the family home. So she left 2 years later. So then you say, then she files, right? And she's saying that you don't help take care of the children.
They bring after they gave her the company, she bring me back to court and says that I'm not helping with the kids. So my attorney, like, how you gonna help with the kids if y'all took the company away from the man? This judge tells me to go get a job.
Okay, wait, hold up. I gotta understand you clearly. So she has a company, 100% operating power of the company, 100% of the revenue of the successful chain, and then she comes back later and says that and files litigation against you for quote unquote child support.
For child support, yes.
Knowing that she has taken all of the asset and all of the finances, and now she's coming for child support.
Yes, she takes me to court for child support. I go in the courtroom. At that time, I had an attorney with me. And, my attorney's arguing that I came to court before and showed you and told you and we presented all the documents that y'all took away this man's life from him. Yeah. The judge tells me go get a job.
So Judge Bills, after knowing everything that's been happening, after knowing that she's given all of the finances, all of the operating power and all this, and now your ex-wife is in need of child support after taking the company from you.
Yes.
Okay, I find that interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend to understand that. I'm not going to pretend to understand it. I think the average person wouldn't understand that either. But let's move on a little bit. So what happens next? So you go to court for this about the child support. What does the judge do?
So once again, they put me on the stand, and the judge is, my attorney is presenting to her like, hey, he don't have no job right now. Y'all took everything from him. The judge, cocky and arrogant, she says, she tells me to go get a job,
And so, and I think I need to highlight this for you. This may be something that the media probably has not seen. When you go from founding a company as a founding member and building a corporation, and then you come overnight and that's ripped from you overnight, there's a level of mental anguish and sorrow and pain that flows into your world in a reset that has to happen. Sometimes a lot of people during that time, the average person or just even somebody that has a strong resilience to pain cannot just reset and go back into the civilian workforce like that because of it's a lot that happens in there. Especially as a black man, that's a lot that goes on there.
It was a lot accomplished from Nana Chicken-N-Waffles.
Legacy just ripped away. All legacy and so there's a lot that's there. So any prudent person would understand, okay, mentally, that's a lot for a person to dissect.
It is.
And then on top of that, you marry elements of alleged injustice to it, and that's like throwing salt on a wound already. Exactly. So therefore, the quote unquote just go to work.
Yeah.
Where you've already worked your whole worked your life to build this and do this and now that, and that was the judge's response.
That's what she responded. She told me to get a job, and I got it it's in black and white. What she said.
What happened next? When you left court that day, what did the judge, your attorneys did a very good argument of understanding, hey, and judge, listen, look at what's happened. Look at what money you want, what do you want?
But by that time, I can tell by my attorney that she couldn't do nothing with this judge. Like it was already made up what they was going to do to me.
Yeah.
So we leave out the courtroom. The judge orders me to pay $2,100 a month.
$2,100 a month?
$2,100 a month after she had already took everything from me. $2,100 a month. So I leave out the courtroom and I'm like, wow, and time flies. I tried to give her some money one time, like $1,000, because I didn't have it. Just to try. She sends the money back. I sent it to I try to give it to my nanny. She sends the money back and says, no, it's supposed to be $2,300. I'm not taking that. So she sends the money back, right? So
So she sent the money back. I guess she didn't need it if we're sending it back then. So, okay, but I'm not going to speculate. Sometimes, okay. Yeah. She says you tried to pay what you could, which is $1,000, and she sends it back and says, hey, this is not, the judge said you're supposed to pay me this much money, and
yeah, so she sends it back. So 3 months down the road, they bring me back to court. They bring me back to court.
Okay.
This time it's for contempt. And you know, contempt means you're going to jail if the judge.
That's over $25,000 a year.
Yeah. So the judge, they bring me back to court this time for contempt. I show up to court, but this time I didn't have no attorney because I couldn't pay the attorney the remaining of her retainer money because I had ran out of the money. So
yeah, I mean, you lost your company, you lost everything, you lost your company. You're you have expenses, you have life, you're paying attorneys and all this.
Right.
Like, so yeah, I mean, what do you expect?
So I go back in court. I tell the judge, I say, Your Honor, I don't have an attorney today. I said I don't want to be seen. I said I'm working on getting an attorney. I said please let me have an attorney with me before I come back in this courtroom because it's been biased every time I come in this courtroom, every time. So the judge orders me to continue. She said, no, we're gonna continue today.
I'm pretty sure she didn't like the fact that you called her quote unquote biased in the matter. I'm pretty sure that she may have taken that a little personal.
Yes, yeah, well that's how I felt. You know, I told you my story.
Yeah.
So she makes me get on the stand anyway, illegally, because you can't, anybody listening can Google this. You cannot put nobody on that stand without an attorney. Anytime you're facing jail time, you know what I'm saying? So she put me on the stand. My ex-attorney, started drilling me, examining me, doing things, and they all knew that I wasn't supposed to be on that stand without an attorney.
You're talking about her counsel, right?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
her counsel,
because nobody's there to object. The questions that they was asking me. So they bring up the child support, and then once again, the judge said, "Well, I told you to get a job." She said it again, totally disrespect, So, so they bring up it was $6,100 with the child support. So, I told them I don't have the money today, and then they bring up this $420,000 loan that I was telling you about, and they told the judge that I never returned that money. So when they brought it up, I told her attorney, I said, I returned that money 2 years ago. Why are we bringing this up? So the judge was like, you returned the money? I said, yes, I returned the money 2 years ago. She said, you got the paperwork with you now? I said, no, I thought I was here for child support. And she said, well, you should have brought it to court because you knew you had court today. I said, what? I thought I was here for child support. So,
and that was years. That was years ago.
Yes. So they locked me up.
Wow.
I went to jail that day. Yeah, I went to jail. It was devastating. So they locking me up. They putting the handcuffs on me, and this is the craziest thing in the world. The judge orders my ex to sell my house.
Wow.
And as I told you, she had
the home that she left 2 years ago.
2 years ago. She tells her to sell my home. I'm listening to her tell my ex attorney to go sell the home.
As you're being
handcuffed,
yes. And taken into custody.
Now this deed was in my personal name, right?
Wow.
So they take me to the back, book me, and when they booking me, they bring me paperwork saying that I can't go back to my house when I get out of jail. I can't even. It was a restraining order. I cannot go back to my house when I got out of jail.
Wow. From the home that she does not even live in.
She don't even live there. No, she don't even.
And she hasn't lived there for years.
For years, she abandoned the home, and the judge ordered her to go break into my house, which they did. Her and her family broke into my house, went through all my personal things, my personal heirlooms, all my expensive items that I collected. Just everything. They went through all my stuff. Violated me totally. Violated me. I'm calling home, and my neighbor was talking to my family, and telling them what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So. He's telling them, man, they broke into your house, they got their family, everybody in there rambling, doing this and that. So I'm like, I can't believe this is going on, right? So they broke my cameras, all that. And once they got in the house, they took over the house. And they immediately put the house for sale. They immediately put the house for sale. And I stayed in jail 41 days. I got a...
hold up, wait. You were in jail 41 days?
Yes, because
over a month?
Yes, and let me tell you this part, which is crazy. My bond was excessive. My bond was $420,000.
$420,000 bond.
All this behind a divorce. My bond was $6,100 for the child support that I was behind, and it was $420,000. That money that I been had paid back. They set my bond at $420,000. And I already I got all the documentation that the money was back before they even went to court.
So if why would they? If we're bringing up this quote unquote the $400,000, if that was put back 2 years ago, or that was done, all of a sudden now the court we want it. Why would she not? Why would she not? Why would she be asking about it all this time later? If it was taken and not given back, why wouldn't we discuss this back then? Why are we waiting 2 years to discuss it now?
Yeah, but like I said, it was a setup. To me, I'm not gonna say alleged. I'm just telling you what happened to my life, and you hear what happened to my life. It was a setup. Everything happened, for a man to have a home and stand in the home and get incarcerated, and a judge to tell him he can't go back to his house when he got out of jail. It's terrible. Probably like 3 months later. 6 months later. They're saying that I still hadn't given no money towards the $2,100. Now, by this time, she has the company, and she had 2 locations at that time, because she had the Claims location in McDonald. But they still taking me to court for child support. So 6 months later down the road, they take me back to court again. They locked me up. The judge locked me up again. This time I stay in jail 7 days, and
so you got locked up again?
Again, yes, the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, y'all hearing this? This is straight from Mr. Ferrell himself.
Yeah, I stayed in there 7 days, and one of my friends helped me out, get me out, and I got out, and by this time the divorce was almost finalized. The divorce was finalized in September 2024, and that's when it finalized. And on that final divorce decree, I thought maybe, because my ex had joined the Housewives of Atlanta at the time, and I thought maybe, the judge was going to do the right thing and be like, well, Mr. Ferrell gets half of her money because she joined the Housewives of Atlanta while they was married, and do the right thing with me getting half of my company back, even half of that money from the house. The only thing I got out of my divorce was 48 days of jail. 48 days of jail time, and the judge gave me half the debt.
Can't get out of here.
Half the debt, yes.
And you never obviously the Real Housewives of Atlanta celebrity cast, I mean, there's compensation. They're not doing that out of there just because they want to volunteer.
Yeah.
We're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars that your ex-wife was procuring during the divorce case, during the course of y'all's marriage. And needless to say, the court did not award. You didn't see any of that money. You didn't see none of that.
No, she didn't. And I even wrote her a letter, the judge, and told the judge that that my ex had money in a contract and this and that, and she totally rebuffed me and ignored it, and didn't go after her for whatever money that she had got from that first season of that show. And like I said, she came back and put the debt on me after she already messed me up with my contract with that $420,000, because to this day I wasn't able to make a payment on that loan because of what she did to me. She took that money away from me, gave it to my ex, and my ex ain't paid a note on that money. So now,
because it's in your name,
it's in both our names, but she didn't pay a note on it. She didn't pay a dime on that money. So those companies are coming after me to this day. It's which I had to file bankruptcy, because they're coming after me for that money. Now, like I told you before, she gave her the company, but she gave me half the debt still.
Oh, I see. So that $400,000 debt that you took out,
she gave me half of it.
She gave you
but
half.
But she gave her the company still.
Wow.
Yeah, she gave her the company.
So you have hundreds of thousands in debt on monies you never saw to enhance a company that you don't even own anymore.
I don't even own it. I don't even own it.
You're hearing it directly from him. So, brother, man, you walked us through a lot, man. You walked us through, man, losing your multi-million-dollar company. You walked us through being incarcerated for over a month. I mean, that's a lot. That's a long time to be incarcerated. You walked us through losing your home, and then on top of that, quite frankly, the media hasn't been too nice to you in any way either.
Because
she's framed, being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she got a big back in there and a big following, and she's framed this real.
She got a bigger platform, and she started out with this storyline, and they tricked her to get. To be on this show with the storyline, the nasty divorce, and every show, because I don't watch that show, but people were sending me clips and telling me about it and saying that she was bashing me real bad, you know,
Yeah.
and it hurt me to my heart because I treated that woman like a queen. Anybody can tell you how I treated this lady, but to sell your soul and to get on this show and destroy your kid's father, a person that changed your life, and the way you're moving right now is because of what I did with that restaurant. That's why they got on that show, because of that restaurant. It's devastating. You get what I'm saying?
And it's hard, man. I can only imagine, man.
It's
and
devastating.
to be defamed in the media like that.
Yes.
And instead of her platform, the only thing about, because, I mean, we're in Atlanta, so the Real Housewives of Atlanta is a big deal out here. It's a mega voice that's there, has a very big audience. And when somebody's able to shape that narrative in real time without the true reflection of what's really happening, their narrative is able to run and get traction. But one thing about it, when the facts are made present and accountability set forth, and then it's always two sides to every story. It's always two sides.
And that's what I live by. It's always two sides. And I'm a very private person. Like doing these interviews and things like that, you couldn't catch me doing that. And but you know, when she got on that show, and I mean, I was getting like all kind. I still get them to this day. Some people send me good messages saying that they glad I'm finally coming out. They know it's two sides. You know, and they pray for me and things like that. Because some people are smart and they can realize when people telling lies, and they because like a person would go on national TV and destroy a man the way she's destroying me. Like she's accused me of wanting. They said I said I was gonna kill her. That's not true.
Wow.
I didn't say it. When he was handcuffing me, I was going to when he was booking me, I was walking by her and her family, and I told her that I got you. I didn't say I was gonna kill you. I said I got you for the way y'all treat me, right? I said that. I get when they send me a restraining order, she changed it to I said I'm gonna get you. She right here in the God, that's what she said. She said she changed it from I got you to I'm gonna get you, making it seem like I said that as a threat. But she goes on national TV and says that I said I was gonna kill her. Now, any person know in this world, killing words coming out your mouth is a charge. You're going to jail. You might get some time for threatening to kill somebody. You see what I'm saying? There's no history of that. I didn't get arrested. Nothing happened. I mean,
and you're dealing with a judge that's very hyper vigilant. Of course. So if you would have said some things like that, and the court would have heard that, man, whatever time she did give you that time, but it's going to look a lot different. So I find that very difficult to truly take. I don't see gravity there, and I get it. But I'm glad that you're stepping out to tell your story from this perspective, though, because I think that people need to see it, because cases like this do happen. And, and when someone, and like I say, Real Housewives of Atlanta is in this area, man, we know that's a big platform. A lot of people, quote unquote, worship that show and the characters that are on there, and it's TV or entertainment, so to speak. But we're talking about a real life. This is not an entertainment situation. This is like, listen, this is my life, and this is a catastrophe of alleged misconduct on multiple levels of conspiracy. And brother, I know that litigation is in the process of being put forth, and I'm hoping that once those suits are filed against all parties, man, I hope that all of us, a lot of the world is following this story, man, and see, what's the next step, what's going to happen. And I believe the rawness of your story, they need to see it, because they're hearing all this over here, how all this individual, this is painting all this. But any prudent person knows through discernment, there's always two sides to every story, right? And man, it's hard to know that your company. I know it's hard for you. You live in Conyers, so therefore it's difficult for you to ride by locations or be in the area and know, or see social media and know that your restaurants are still booming and doing all this. And guess what? And your hands created it. And now you can't even touch it.
That's what's going on. Yeah, that's what's going on. It's very, very, very hurtful, man.
And I want you to tell everybody, and this, I want to highlight that for a minute. Yeah, we get into we understood the alleged corruption that's here. We understand. Walk us through the impact. Take us through, like, where are you at personally now with navigating all of this chaos, man, as a person? What kind of toll has this taken on you? I'm talking about the media, the being attacked by the media, being attacked by the court, losing everything from your home to having to sleep. What impact has this had on you?
I mean, it's devastating, man. I already had been, robbed of everything, and then for her to go on TV and destroy me, because I'm a very private person.
Yeah.
like during the process when we had the restaurant, you can Google my name. You can never see me on nowhere. Nobody knew who I was. Yeah. I let her be in the front because I'm a quiet, laid back person. Absolutely. So I put her in the front to run the restaurant, thinking I'm doing the right thing as a family man. To help my wife out that she don't have to go work for no one. Right. She can just work for me. So I thought I was doing the right thing, and that's what I did. And when I heard about this show, it just really let me down for her to do that to me, because I would never do that to her. Never. Yeah. I don't care how much you hate. I mean, even if it was the truth about cheating and beating and things like that, I still wouldn't do no one like that. Yeah. So I hear she said I stole $500,000. I just told you the story what happened with that $500,000. Right. But she go on TV and make it seem like I stole it. Yeah. And I told you exactly what happened. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? The abuse thing. That's not true. You can't go find no record in Rockdale County of abuse. It's not.
So there's no charge. You have not been arrested.
We both only time abuse happened, and it was crazy. We both went to jail because the police. She called the police one time on my son-in-law at the time, and she had been gone a couple of days or something because we were still kind of back and forth beefing, and then she came back and she was like, I don't want nobody at the house or whatever. So she called the police on my son-in-law. He was in town visiting my daughter, and the police came, and the police was like, well, they questioned me. I'm like, well, he ain't got to go nowhere. So the police told her, well, no, he don't have to leave. And so she ended up calling them back again. And when they came back this time, they was like, okay, we're not going to keep wasting time with y'all going back and forth and this and that. And they said, one of y'all got to leave. I said, I'm not going nowhere. Why would I go somewhere? I haven't did nothing. They asked her, and she said no. And he locked both of us up. That was the only thing that happened. And that's not abuse because nobody got hurt. Nobody, and you can look that up. It's public records.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's public records.
Yeah, it's public records. So that never happened. So I'm just clearing up to everyone because I get a lot of negative comments. Like just like I did an interview on Tasha K, and Tasha put the interview out, and it was a good interview. I told my story like I'm telling you, but it's still negative things because they believe her because of that show. Yeah. But I just want the world to know I ain't got no reason to lie. I don't care about no media. That's not what I do. Yeah. And I don't have no reason to sit here and lie to you on what happened to me. I got black and white. She don't have that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And a lot of times
I got black and white. I can sit down right now and we can take a lie detector test. I bet if you tell her to come, she wouldn't show up. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I stand behind what I'm telling you. Right. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get it. And a lot of times, even in court, when somebody has a profile or quote-unquote character, usually it's very strange for them to operate outside of that normal character. So a person that loves being in entertainment and in front of the cameras and stuff, and their acting capabilities, they usually do that normally. The person that likes to stay out of drama or behind the scenes and things like that, they keep in that integrity. So find it very, according to me, and we spent a lot of time talking and getting understandings about things, and you very, very mild-mannered, very calm, cool, collective. And and other than the situation you discussed, there is no history of violence or history of criminality and all those things like that, and that's not there. No. But now all of a sudden, because now that a divorce is filed, now we are beginning to see the emergence of all these things. And man, I hope that after you've been on different platforms, even been on the Shade Room and places like that, I hope that the world hears your story, because they've been hearing it from a perspective of for fame in that perspective, but they're not heeding the gravity of the truth of what's really happening and the impact of your life.
That's right.
What's happening.
It's like it's sad because you think that I will sit here and tell these stories, and I got counsel. I got real counsel. I got a very known attorney that's got my back. I got people that have my back, and they're on me about going out speaking. That I gotta go let the world know what's going on. You can't be laid back and let her destroy you like this on this show, and not say nothing. So that's where I'm at right now. That I gotta defend myself. I got 3 beautiful girls with her. What is she telling them about their dad on this show?
And let's talk about that a minute. So what is the situation with your children? Are you able to see your children?
She don't even let me see. No, she's not allowed. She's breaking the court order. She's not allowing me to see my kids.
Oh man! So
I have some. I have the only way I see my kids is I go to their school and sit down and have lunch with them. Wow. That's the only way. She got me blocked. She won't let me see my kids. She's holding my kids for ransom because I'm not able to pay their child support.
Wow.
Yeah.
So man, that's a whole nother element. So you lose your multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
You get incarcerated falsely or wrongly. You lose your then on top of that you lose your home, and then on top of that now your children are being weaponized against you. Is what, man, brother. See, this is a side of this that the media can say what they want, and like I said, and me, I've learned. Before all this stuff that happened with my farm and my animal sanctuary, I was a very private person. I debuted animals. I was like you in that regard. I didn't want to be in front of the cameras and stuff like that. But as my story began to spin in its own way, millions and millions of people began to develop what they thought was going on, but in all this. But through time, when the truth came out, it's very clear that I was actually right about everything that was, and I was telling the truth though.
Yeah.
But that was after the getting beat up in the media by all these people, and that took a toll on me, man. I got off media. Too. I got away from it, man. I go read them comments and see this stuff. Like, y'all don't even know what's going on.
People in the world are cruel, you know.
They are.
But I'm not like that because it's always two sides to the story. I'm not gonna believe nobody. I don't care what show you on.
Exactly.
That show is terrible. That show is destroyed. I mean, it's designed to destroy black men. That show is not. It's not nothing happy about that show. It's not no housewives on the show. It's only like one or two housewives on there. Everybody else single going through divorce. So this guy uses these women and make them go on and destroy their men, their ex-men and things like that for storylines. Yeah. And that's why Bravo and NBC, they're about to hear from me too, because they destroyed my life on a national platform. Like if you Google my name right now, it's nothing but negative stuff. Everybody, I get DMs on my Instagram, deadbeat. You need to take care of your kids. You need to see your kids because what she's put out here. Yeah. And people so zombie, they don't look at it. First of all, my thing is, why would you listen to somebody on TV? How you know I'm not getting paid for what she's saying? I might be getting paid, right? I might have a contract with Bravo. So for a person to go on someone's page and Google me and find my page and say negative things, you don't know what I got with Bravo. Bravo might be paying me for what she's saying. You don't know if it's true or not. So that's like a weak, miserable person to me, to go on someone's page and make negative comments and you don't know the truth. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that just where it's at. But Bravo violated me a lot of ways, and I'm gonna say this so they can hear it. We had a divorce decree, which came out on September 23rd, 2024. It stated that it's a gag order in place that me and her cannot talk about our marriage, our divorce in public, right? Mm-hmm. She went on national TV and talked about our divorce in public. Illegally. You cannot do that. They got my kids on the show without my consent. We got joint custody. They got my kids on the show and they use my kids for storylines, stuff like that. Like that's out of line. That's wrong. They allowed this woman to go on national TV and say I said I was gonna kill her. Wow. That's a big defamation situation because I didn't do that. I didn't say it. Now, if they had proof that I got locked up for it, yeah, so be it. You can say that, but it's nowhere in paperwork and nowhere in stone to say that, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what Bravo did me. They allowed the lady to go in there and say that I stole $500,000, and I just told you where that money comes from. You get what I'm saying?
No, I see.
So,
but that's entertainment, and that's entertainment. That's that world of entertainment, and they should have vetted things better. And especially if you're going to put that out there in this context, in this perspective, with that type of platform. Yes. Surely there's going to be complex and massive detriment from that. And I know, like as you said, counsel is preparing to is preparing to respond to all of this, man. So, like I said, I appreciate you sitting down with me, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.
And what we're going to do from my perspective is, like I said, I understand losing in the courts that way unjustly. That's why I want to take out this time and try to just help to tell your story, man, as well. I know other people are covering you as well, so I appreciate you taking time with me on when you have your press release on September 2nd at the Rockdale County Court at 11:30 a.m. Myself will be there along with we're coming in on horseback to show support for you, and we have your back 100%, man. And we cannot stand, and myself, we cannot stand corruption, man. And to hear your life being strategically dismantled at the hand of a judge's pen, it's inappropriate. And according to what I understand, and my understanding of this situation, it seemingly is misconduct here.
Yes, it is.
And I'm hopeful that you will get the justice, man. I hope, man, and I hope that, say, to other celebrity couples or families that are just anyone in your situation, man, I hope that the media begins to say, listen, yeah, we ran with it because of this entertainer, but what about the truth? What about nobody took a chance to find out the fact check? Okay, what really happened? Who you really are as a person?
That's right.
And my whole thing is this: the media did not know you. Like,
That's right.
So other than what was said, how come the media didn't take the time to get a chance to know you personally, ask hard questions?
Why nobody didn't call me and get my side of the story? Why y'all ran with this storyline and didn't do no fact checking? Why y'all didn't look and see that were you able to talk about my divorce on TV? No one did that.
They didn't.
To this day, they still, from what I hear, they still filming. She's on season 2, which is I think season whatever 17, 18, and she's on that the new season now, and they probably finna go on and start talking about me again. Now she's divorced. She just opened up another location in Sandy Springs without me. So can you imagine how this makes me feel?
Man, the gravity I can sense just being in your presence, man. I can sense the gravity that's there, man. And coming from my perspective, what I've lost in the court, man. That's why I'm aligning to you, man. Right. And victory's yours, and the fight is yours. And one thing about it, I always say, is just travail and stay the course, man. Truth has a way of debunking. Truth has a way of expelling bad things. Truth has a way of staying the course, and truth has a way of bringing true accountability, brother.
That's right.
So make sure that, I just encourage you. I know it's been a hell of a roller coaster, and I get that. But man, stay the course. Continue, man, to fight. And one thing I love about in your fight, now you got some big guns that are coming in board and holding everybody accountable. And I'm hoping that everybody that participated in this alleged misconduct, I pray that all of them, and hope that every last one of them are held accountable. In the meantime, brother, we know there's a work to be done. You let us know, how can we support you? How can we better support you, to those that want that are fact finders and truth seekers and wanted to hear the other side of the story versus from the entertainment perspective? How can we support you?
It's just like our interview, just repost it. I appreciate anyone that can come out for the press conference on the 2nd in front of Rockdale County's courthouse at 11:30. Just anything that you can do, support like you're doing. Like, once the interview come out, if they can repost it, say positive things about it. My goal is to let the world know what I've been through.
Absolutely, and I believe in this story needs to be shared far and wide, man. And as you guys have heard from Mark Ferrell himself, this is a story of injustice that's happening right now. And divorces can be very, very nasty, but at the end of the day, the judge is there to follow the law and make it and divide and do what it needs to do, but under the context of the law. No person should be penalized, destroyed, and stripped to nothing when a substantial asset thereof without probability or merit there. It shouldn't happen. But we're looking at an individual that literally lost everything. A lot of you guys have eaten at his restaurant chains and know it very, very well. A lot of us have loved the restaurant chains. But now the founder is reaching out to the media for help and understanding. Please share this content. Please share, because as always, you hear me say this all the time. It's real interesting when it's real interesting when you're watching it from that side of the camera. But this is people's lives that's being destroyed and being defamed and being compromised. Somebody's life. So y'all get behind that keyboard and say all this disrespectful, rude things to him and things like that when you didn't fact check. So I challenge everybody across the board to look at the facts on the case and support him, as he's been through a hell of a roller coaster. He has a long way to go in this battle coming up against the county. But at the same time, he's due justice, and everybody that acted in misconduct is due accountability. So y'all, please please share, and please comment and get this story out there, because there's a side of this right here that needs to be seen. Brother Mark, man, pleasure is all mine, man. You just keep the faith, man. I know things look a little crazy right now, but like I said, stand on truth, man. And sometimes when you stand on truth, it's not the popular place to be, because everybody else is doing whatever, and they look in all these wrong directions a lot of times, but never change that course, man. I can tell by our conversations, man, that you're mobilizing to fight, man, and fight hard to the end, so everybody's held accountable. So, brother, man, you make sure to keep up the good work, man, and keep it up, man, and keep the faith, because everybody's going to have to stand before justice real soon. Accountability is coming.